I am DM Zone. This is the Gamer's Oasis. We're going to do a 15 PED hunt with armor. Okay guys, so I'm doing a 15 PED hunt here, as you can see, and I was like, alright, I'm going to wear my armor just in case I actually get hit, because I kind of want to see if that extra decay helps with my skills and that type of stuff, like the skill gain or whatever. And I like, if I'm going to be wearing armor and I'm going to be attacking these Monuras, and I know the females are going to do slightly more damage and they have one extra hit point and that type of stuff. Maybe it's important for me to do them in armor and do the males out of armor, just so that it's not so much incoming or damage, or they don't last as long or whatever, you know, that type of stuff. So I went ahead and did that, and for the most part worked out. In a later video, which will be coming out after this one, I actually did some swanting, and I found that it didn't matter if I did males or females in armor, as long as I was wearing the armor. They do a little bit more damage, but for the most part it's all negated by the armor anyways. This armor is actually too much for what I'm doing. I would be willing to bet that you could do this with not as many pieces of armor on instead of a full set, or you could do it with the Pioneer armor and be just fine, regardless of how new you are to your skill level as far as evading and that type of stuff. I've done a fair amount of sweating and whatnot, and I usually do it solo, so it's not like group sweating, where you might have a reduced skill variance, I guess you could say, or like you're not being hit as much. It's more sharing the blows and that type of stuff, and you can heal up, and so you don't evade as much. But so I have maybe a little higher evade than a person with my sweating level would have otherwise. But I'm at sweater profession level 8, which is not bad for the amount of time I've been playing and the amount of time I put into sweating and that type of stuff. And I'm evader 3, so yeah, you know, there's something to that, I think. Here I just had to like kind of Dramano, whatever that word is, the Indian chieftain, and run down here and get this before the carcass decayed. I ended up fighting a whole bunch of males, which is kind of silly on my part. Probably could have let that gone back into the loot pool, but as you can see, this armor is so overpowered in this. I'm not even actually sure I came out of you could even see a green bar disappear. If it even took a point of 4 damage, you know, it probably got healed back before that even went up. And I've got skills things going off and profession stuff going off, and it was kind of a fun run, as far as this goes. But overall, I think that maybe this is too much armor for what I'm doing here. If I was fighting higher level creatures, I think that'd be better. And you know, I don't own a suit of Pioneer yet, and I wouldn't want to buy it like off the auction hall. Excuse me, because I think that the markup would be too much. But if I could craft my own, maybe that would be something that would be worth doing. However, I haven't even got at this point in time the BPs or the skill to do that, so I don't even know what that would entail. But yeah, that might be something to think about. The Bukin is the rifle I'm using, and it's not adjusted yet. I have the ability to adjust it, I just haven't done it yet. Ever since I did that a crazy run through space and time, my Bukin's been able to do it. I just didn't have 10 PED to get it back up to full. I think it's like 10.34 or something like that. But basically I need like 9.5 PED to do it, and I just haven't done it. I don't have that kind of free PED floating around. I'd have to sell everything I had, or you know, something of that nature to do it, and that's just not that high on the priority for me right at this moment. It will be. The more I use it at this and not as the adjusted, the longer it's going to take for the adjusted to get tiered up and that type of stuff, which, you know, I understand is delaying everything. But there are some testing I want to do at this level, and I haven't really defined that yet, but I will. And when I get that defined, then I'll go ahead and run those tests and that type of stuff, so I can have something to compare to. A lot of what I do in this channel is comparative stuff. Um, does this work? Does that work? How much does this cost? Did I lose here? Did I lose there? And I'm kind of toying with the idea of almost like a quarterly business report type of thing. Like, this is me, over this month or over that. And I thought about including it as part of my vlog that I come out in vlog 7 potentially, like a little, this is the month update type of thing, where my stats are and that type of stuff, like a little slideshow for like the stats or several stats on the same page type of thing. And then I would just have it the same format, but then you might see progression, and then that'd be like the last 12 months. Once I actually get 12 months of data saved, I would just have like a rotating last 12 months type of thing. I think that would be kind of cool. And then actually doing like a more detailed quarterly type of thing. And that's not just for people to see like the progression of things slow and rise, or speed up, or when I get hidden skills unlocked and I get that burst of new proficiencies, or that type of stuff, because it's a 5% factor in that proficiency, and now that skill's gone up, say 100 points, so that 5% of that 100 points went towards a skill and raised something up or something, versus the other way around. Or I really should go bigger than that, like 1,000 points, and then 5% of that. So, anyways, that's kind of what I'm looking at with that. I think that'd be kind of fun, and it would also be an accountability thing. You guys can continue to see that I'm still being a non-depositing player, still holding true with what I'm doing. I had to take a quick break. If you saw like a skip and wondered what that was. Sometimes life happens. I had to take a short break in this fight, even within the 15 PED hunt. So I've kind of got my rhythm on what I'm doing. This is just one of my hunts that I did at 15 PED in this area. I plan to do a whole ton of them. Eventually I'm going to get the stage 2 completion for the Monura male and females, and I'm really digging the fact that there's basically 2 completions right here in this field. And then I want to get to the stage 3, the stage 4, stage 5, and I might consider the stage 6, but that's a lot of Monura. Wow, it actually has kind of like a little rhyming joke to it. That's a lot of Monura, like manure, VS. Anyways, that's a joke for the older folks. They might get that one. All right, all the grandma and grandpas, right? So, that's kind of what I'm doing with this. And I do want to level my stuff up, but at the same time, I don't want to be inefficient with what I'm doing. So if the Pioneer armor is more efficient and is a better suit of armor for this level, because maybe it lets some damage through and I actually use natural healing versus not taking anything, then I might be leveling up Pioneer armor if I get it, and it will be after I do this, obviously. But I don't know. As far as weapons go, I'm on the lookout for a laser pistol that's good. I'm on the lookout for BOP rifle and pistol, and I'm on the lookout for pretty much any type of melee weapon that's got decent efficiency. I know it's not going to last long, so unless it's a unlimited, but I'm expecting I won't find that other than the maze and maybe the Fakata. But I don't necessarily see those as long-term weapons. I don't think the efficiency on either one of those weapons is what I'm looking for like something I want to use for the next couple of years for the purpose of hunting. It might be what I use for the purpose of running, but it might probably not for the purpose of hunting. They're just used for gaining skills right now, slightly inefficiently, and then we'll eventually find something I need to get, probably when I get into the 10 series, for whatever type of weapon I'm using for melee. Um, I want to raise my melee stuff up so that I can go ahead and get my mining uh, prepared, set up. And one of the stats that is important for mining that's kind of a, oh, I didn't think of that type of stat, is strength. If you don't have enough strength to carry the heavy ore and gases and oils you're going to be finding, then you're going to be leaving in the middle of your hunt to go do that, or you're going to be walking, or you're going to be trying to be refining at non-efficient levels and that type of stuff to try and get it lighter so you can carry it. Who knows, maybe your refiner breaks and now you have to teleport out because you just don't have enough strength. So as you can see right now, I'm right at 200 or in the 200s for my capacity. When you start out the game, you start out at 150. So even in my 11 points of strength, I have gained 50 points of capacity. And that's not very many. It's 15 PED of hunting melee, and with a two-hander. And will continue to do that. Probably dropping another, I'm guessing 45 PED into that before the year's over. And I hope that I'll be up another 50 to 75 points. That'll get me closer to 300, and that will get me to where I can actually start carrying a nicer load and basically double my carry capacity. And before the end of the year, I hope to be doing some mining. Oops, I got me a skill boost. Skill boosts are nice. Whenever I get skill boosts when I'm swanting, I have decided after watching this when I was doing it that I'm going to go ahead and stop swanting, and I'm going to just go on a killing spree, because you get good substantial skill boosts during this period of time. Matter of fact, a good skill run or not could be defined on how many skill boosts you get within that run. So at least for me right now, and I hope that in the future that the same type of stuff happens. I find that around every 10, 12 PED I seem to get a skill boost. So on my 10 PED hunts, there'd be times I would not even see a skill boost, and on my 15 PED hunts I get skill boosts usually once to twice. And that's at my level, with my weapon, and who knows if it's going to be that way forever, or as I gain skill that will happen at that often. It might be rarer, or it might be more common. I don't know. I can't really explain how it is for everyone. I can only explain what it was like for me, and then we can use that as this is how it happened for me, and hope if it happens for you, then we had similar results, type of thing. And that eventually with some stuff I'll be able to get, like we know this, when I've got anywhere from 15 to 20,000 kills of Monuras. I think we're going to have a good idea what happens with Monuras, considering they're all the same age category and maturity and that type of stuff, and basically have the same hit points and everything. So definitely some things are going to be able to be, we know this, but the rest of this stuff is kind of my perspective. It's like my perspective on finding stone and fruit and that type of stuff is I really didn't see a huge difference between Calypso and Arcadia. Maybe I found it more often in Arcadia. Maybe that's not because it's more common in Arcadia, but maybe because there's fewer people, or maybe because I learned a trick that helped me find it, or maybe because maybe because there is more. I can tell you that the moon has a fair amount, but there are a lot of skin glitches, I guess you could say, in the moon. They try to do a lot of stuff with textures, and it kind of messes up more regularly there than it does on Planet Arcadia. Let me give an example of that. So on the other side of this road where I was hunting when I first started, or in the middle of where I was 5 minutes ago, there, and probably right where I'm standing right now, there's water that's just below the surface. Well, when you're near some of this water, um, I think that they have generators that say, okay, if we have water and it covers this many pixels or this many units of space or whatever the case, I just ran out, so I'm going to be using this video here soon. Um, then we're going to have a wave sound or an ocean sound and that type of stuff. And so you're in the middle of a moon with no ocean, and then there's the sound of an ocean. It's really kind of silly. Anyways, guys, go ahead and take a look at my card here. You can see I did pretty well. Moderate run, not anything to scream about, but if I did this every day and was able to maintain this every day, I think it would be worth doing. But I'll let you guys finish out watching this card. If you guys like this type of video, please let me know down below. I appreciate if you like the video itself and if you subscribe if you're not a follower. If you want to see more content like this, I do this type of stuff. I'm trying to get it to where I do it at least once a week. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great day, and